There are now over 13.4 million coronavirus cases worldwide. In the United States, over 3.4 million people have been diagnosed with COVID. America has more than 136,000 deaths. More than 1 million people have recovered. That is a big war. What are you drinking there?
Gatorade. I don't feel too well. I don't feel good today.
You do not feel well today. What is wrong with you? Tell me your symptoms.
I had a little fever.
We don't expect Yo-Yo to be ultimately sick. He's a healthy young man. He is not in a high risk, but he should still be safe rather than sorry, and please get tested. You know, the people who are high risk are fat people. You're not fat, are you? Just take a stand up. Can you stand up? You didn't get a belly. You didn't get a belly since I last saw you in person, have you?
No.
Right? You still have your 3.5 to 4 pack. Yo-Yo has about a 3.5 to 4 pack. He's very, very close to a 6 pack. I'm not sure if he has the full 6 pack, but he definitely has.
Quarantine knocked out the last 3.
But of course, he's got at least 3 or 4.
Quarantine definitely knocked out the last 3.
Oh, you knocked out the last 3? Since I've seen you last in a bathing suit, perhaps. And you don't have diabetes. You're not over 65. You don't have any underlying health conditions. So you know, 99.999999999%, you'll be okay. Right. But please, nevertheless, get tested nevertheless.
Absolutely.
Now, CNN, you're in good company if you got coronavirus, because CNN has reported that yesterday was the most coronavirus diagnosis ever in the United States. 67,000 people were diagnosed with coronavirus yesterday. That's more people than some countries got diagnosed since the beginning of the crisis. Now, the border with Canada, the border with Mexico is going to remain closed to non-essential travel, although I do understand you can take a vacation to Mexico, but I guess you would have to have a pre-approved hotel. Now, what everybody is waiting on is what's going to happen with a new stimulus package. We still have more than almost 1 out of 4 people looking for jobs right now in America, somewhere in that vicinity of 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 people looking for jobs. We need another stimulus package. I don't know if businesses need a stimulus package. What I do know is that people need a stimulus package. And if people get a stimulus package, by definition, businesses would also, because people are going to spend their money. So what I'm hoping to see, instead of some trickle-down economics, and hopefully it rains on somebody, what I'm hoping to see is economics that are built from the bottom up.
Right.
You build it from the bottom up. Trees grow from roots, right? Trees don't grow from the sky down. So if we give enough people enough money to make it through, two things are going to happen. You don't got to be a genius. Okay? Because I never took an economics course in my life. Never in my life. I went to law school, but I never took an economics course in my life. But I do know this. If everybody's got money to spend, most people are going to spend it. And what's going to happen? Businesses are going to say, whoa, we're busy. We got to hire some people. Right. Now all of a sudden, people get hired and get a paycheck. Then what happens? These people with paychecks go out and spend their money. And before you know it, the economy hopefully comes back. That to me makes sense. Instead of what happened before, giving money to corporations for bailouts, giving money to different organizations that are basically political donations back from the government back to their fat cat friends. Because I don't know what these organizations and these bailouts, where that money went to. But I do know that if you give a couple $1,000s and maybe more than one check of a couple $1,000s to people, they're going to spend it. Why? Because they need to. You need to buy food.
Absolutely.
You need to buy food. Okay. You need to travel. You need to get to work. You need to, even if you don't need to travel and get to work, you need to go buy clothes, school supplies, you name it. And before you know it, businesses are going to say, wow, we're busy. So I'm hoping, even for my business, okay, I don't need a bailout at Spar and Bernstein. I need my clients to be able to pay us.
Right.
Okay? I want my clients to be able to pay us, because if my clients can pay us, then I know I can keep paying the bills.
Right.
So, you know.
Yeah, and it's all a circle.
It's a big circle of life.
You're providing a service.
Correct.
You're providing a service that in turn helps them develop and grow and continue and be citizens in this country, so they can continue to plant and water and grow.
That's right. I'm not even saying that for being a U.S. citizen. I'm just saying, I'm going back to the economics of the Lion King. Okay,
Right.
This is Brad Bernstein, Lion King economics. It's the circle of life. The government gives a client money. Give somebody money. They come and hire a business, whether it's me or somebody else. That business pays a salary to Yo-Yo and Nesquik. Nesquik goes out and goes to a restaurant because they're hungry. That restaurant then pays the waiter. The waiter goes home, says my kid needs school supplies. They go to the school supply store and pay the school supply store. The school supply store says, wow, we need more people. People are buying pencils off the hook. I've never sold so many pencils in my entire life for school. And then all of a sudden now the pencil manufacturer is busy. The guy who has to deliver the pencils is busy. It's the Brad Bernstein. Now that's really basic economics. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't think I really, I discovered America. Okay, everyone's like, duh, Brad. Of course, that's how economics works. But why is the government not doing it? Which is really, everyone's like, duh, Brad. Of course, that's how economics works. Why does the government do it? Why don't they give us? Why don't they give us check after check after check instead of the businesses to people who need it to go out and spend that money? And the economy's back.
I agree. I agree.
Simple as that. Yeah. It's as simple as that. It all goes in full circle.
Mm-hmm. It's the Lion King theory of economics. A Mexican man was going to get deported, but before they were able to deport him, Onaval Perez Montufo, 51, he died at Palm Beach County Hospital of coronavirus. He got coronavirus sometime after he was incarcerated in ICE detention on July 2nd. He got tested positive for it. He was serving a 12-year sentence for drug cocaine distribution. He did serve it. He was going to now get deported back to Mexico. The federal detention or state detention, the federal prison in Massachusetts sent him to immigration detention, and in immigration detention he got coronavirus and he died. And this we've heard, unfortunately, multiple times. A recent investigation by the New York Times in collaboration with the Marshall Project, they revealed how unsafe the conditions and poor testing helped turn immigration customs enforcement into one of the biggest global spreaders of coronavirus in the world. The Times found that the United States ICE agency has continued to move detainees from state to state, from prison to prison, and getting everybody infected on the way, and then deporting people who have been tested positive for coronavirus, forcing their countries to take that person, and who knows what happens at that point. There's no record of what happens to the person after they've been deported with coronavirus to their home country. Did they infect other people? Did they get better? Did they die themselves? The Times spoke to at least 4 people who had been deported to El Salvador, Guatemala, Haiti, and India, all who tested positive for the virus before leaving the United States of America. So ICE is a big spreader. It's such a simple solution. But it's again, this is do we need to refer back
Put
to
your humanitarian hat on now, Brad.
All right, let me tell you this. Let me tell you the simple solution. Okay, it is extraordinarily cheaper to put an ankle bracelet on a human being and let them be house detention Let them be able to go to a hospital. Let them be able to go to a food store. And you are monitoring them. You know exactly where they are at all times. They have an ankle bracelet on. But they're not in jail. An ankle bracelet, to monitor a person with an ankle bracelet, costs less than $1 a day.
Oh, wow.
Less than $1 a day to monitor somebody with an ankle bracelet. Mm-hmm. It's $20, $30, $40, $50, $100 a day to put somebody in a jail. Maybe more.
Yeah. And you're somebody locked by doing so. And
you're keeping somebody locked up, and you're causing a lot of health misery as well as additional misery. And on top of it all, immigration, he already served his sentence. He did his time. I'm not saying, I'm not in favor. You do the crime, you got to do the time. It's what it is. Okay?
Right.
We live by a set of laws. So I'm not saying you don't do the crime, you don't do the time. What I'm saying is, you did the crime, you did the time, you don't got to do more time.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And what's happening right now is not only are you doing more time with ICE, it's costing you more, it's costing the government more money, and it's causing an enormous health hazard. Enormous.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how is it that Brad can come up with this whole, I have the answer, right? Where Brad for president? That's it. That's it.
The reason is this, because when people get into politics, it's not about what's best for your country anymore.
There you go.
It's about what's best for you and your cronies and your friends. Because I am not a genius.
They know the answers as well.
They know the answers.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like all of a sudden everyone's like, duh! Wow, that Brad Bernstein is a genius. Ankle bracelet. There you go. You know what? Let's give money to the people and let them spend their money so we can get that. Yeah. Wow, I can't believe nobody thought of this before. Of course they thought about it. They've thought about it a million times.
It's not going to benefit them, though.
Correct. I hate to be cynical, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. You ever see a politician living a life of poverty? You ever see a politician? You ever see a politician saying, "Gee, I don't have the money to spend right now."
Right.
Okay. You never see that. All right. Being a politician is a good gig. You get very rich. Even the politicians who go in for the right reasons end up living a very good life over time.
This is true.
Okay? I mean,
it's because of these type of decisions that they make.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I hate to be such a cynic, but I have been. I used to think otherwise, but after this whole orange guy in the White House, the only thing the only thing I can say is, he has left an indelible orange stain on the entire U.S. government. And by the way, Democrats are like this too now. So it's not as if, but at least the Democrats, supposedly standing up for the little guy. At least. But I'm very cynical about the whole process. I could change my mind in 6 months after Biden wins and we see what they do. But right now, I'm extraordinarily cynical. Here's another cynical. You want more cynicism for the U.S. government right now? It's on my next card right here. I didn't even realize it. We have something called the CDC. You know what the CDC is, guys?
Yes.
Centers for Disease Control. It's been around forever. Supposedly we have the best scientists there. And they're the ones who are supposed to be collecting all the data. They're the ones who are supposed to be collecting all the data from every hospital around the United States on what's happening with coronavirus. How many people got sick? How many people got better? How many people went into the intensive care? How many people had to have a breathing apparatus? Whatever their information that they're collecting, and they can then and it's being collected by scientists who then disseminate it out to the United States of America. Well, Donald Trump says, you know what, this system The system doesn't work for Donald Trump anymore. So now, after, I don't know how long the CDC has been in business, they're not really in business, but working for the U.S. government, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 100 years, whatever it is, decades and decades and decades, they got the system down pat. They've got, you know, you have to, it's, you know, when you think about it, what goes into giving data from a hospital to the CDC? There's a computer system, and then somebody has to audit that data, make sure that data is correct, that there is a communication between a scientist at the Centers for Disease Control and the point person at each hospital and doctor's office around the United States of America. It is an extraordinarily complicated system if you think about counting all of this, right? It's not a simple thing. Mm-hmm. So Donald Trump says we're going to scrap this whole system, not because there was anything wrong with it, because he has not pointed that there was a problem with the system. The only problem he has with the system is they're counting too many people with coronavirus. He just wants to close his eyes and make believe coronavirus doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
So now he's setting up an entire new system to collect data that is politically based, and that data is going to be collected by the Coronavirus Task Force from the White House. No longer will a hospital give their information to CDC. They're going to give it to the Coronavirus Task Force. That means new software, new computers, new system, new people. You think that can just be, that new system just go right into effect by a snap of a finger?
No.
And do you even believe that the information that Donald Trump's going to give us about coronavirus statistics are going to even be true?
Right.
No.
That's my first thought. As soon as, okay, so why do we've been using this system for years. Why we got to change it now, Donald? Huh?
Right in the middle of a pandemic. Right before an election.
This is convenient, Brad. This sounds real convenient.
Okay, so when you go back to me and you say, Brad for president, it's not Brad for president. It's not like I have these genius ideas.
No justice, no peace.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the one guy who appears to be telling the truth, Dr. Fauci, he's getting slammed by the White House. Peter Navarro doesn't like what Dr. Fauci has to say, which is, we're not doing a very good job with coronavirus. And you want to know why I know we're not doing a very good job with coronavirus, no matter what Trump says? You want to know why I know this?
How? Why?
There's very few countries in the world that want anybody who has stepped foot on American soil to come visit them.
This is true.
Okay? And every country in the world wants one thing: American dollars. So when countries are telling Americans with American dollars, don't come.
Not to come.
All right? That's how you know.
Yeah.
It ain't going well.
Yes.
It ain't going well here.
And a lot of dollars in Europe, because Americans love to go to Europe.
That's right. And you want to know the number one American who loves to go to Europe?
Brad Bernstein.
Right there.
Right. And they don't want me now. They don't want me at all. They don't want me or my germs.
Brad loves Europe.
They don't want me or my germs. So now, Trump is trying to discredit Fauci because he doesn't like that Fauci's kind of telling the truth about what's going on. You know, so he had one of his top administration officials, Peter Navarro, he had him write a op-ed in USA Today saying that Dr. Fauci has been wrong with everything he has said to the American people. What do you think? Who would you trust? Of everybody that you've heard, okay, of everybody, because now, you know, Yo-Yo, yesterday, Vanessa and I had a conversation where we said the problem with the United States is that when you mix politics and science, politics wins.
Yes.
And everybody's about politics and no one's about following the science. Because if we followed the science, we wouldn't be in this problem right now.
Right.
So, okay. So, let me ask you guys this question. Orange dude in the White House, Fauci, You know who Dr. Deborah Birx is? Any governor, any one of the 50 governors you've heard talk about this? Any one of the major city mayors, de Blasio, or any of the other major city mayors, Mayor Lance Bottoms from Atlanta, for example? Who do you trust the most of everybody, or maybe you trust nobody and you trust the YouTuber who's giving you information? Who do you trust the most? Where do you get your information to follow? Because you got to follow some information somewhere.
Right.
Who do you follow? That's the problem in America. Who do you follow?
That's the problem.
Yeah, and I think that what's happening, especially in our generation, is like what people are sourcing for the most is who's maybe speaking the loudest, right? So I'm going to go with whatever directly affects me. So I might take the perspective of, what is good for what I advocate. If it's, for Black Lives Matter, what is our perspective on Black Lives Matter? And that's what I'm advocating for. And which person in this lineup would be anyone that would even think to advocate for that? And how would that progress, right? But if someone's worked for Trump and you're thinking here, people are starting to publish books, and it's like, okay, so are you publishing this book to like really bring justice and light to what you know and what you've experienced? Or are you just trying to make a buck from selling a title that you have all of Trump's dirty laundry? And then you're like kind of reading that, but is it just info news? Like, it's just tough. Who do you trust? Who do you believe?
What are you laughing about? Why are you laughing? I agree with everything you're saying.
It's just when you ask that, it's true. Like when we sit here and think, like, who do you? And it depends on the day, I think.
I think what you're saying is, if I had to break it down and summarize what you've said, is you're relying on your common sense and instincts. And every day you have to sift through everything you read and see it here and come to your own conclusion. And that sucks.
It really does suck.
And that sucks because you're not a scientist.
Right. Like we should legit, we should have a source that tells us what's going on, and like we should not have to deal with the mind, just like it. We shouldn't have to fight in our mind to try and see, so do you think this is right, or do you think this is real? Is this fake news? Is this, what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be like that. And the fact that we have to do that during this time, like the hardest time in history, is ridiculous.
We don't have a trusted source that people can go to and say, yes, I believe this person. That is the problem. That is our biggest problem in America. Because if we had a trusted source that was following the science and had the best interests of humanity, and by the way, the best interest of humanity is not just saving lives, it's saving jobs, it's saving people's mental health. Saving, there's a lot to save here. There's mental health, there's jobs, physical health. We don't have this person. We just have a lot of competing talkers. Yeah. And that is why America is America today, sadly enough. I don't have the answer.
And then when we do have somebody that we're trying to like look towards, like we'll say like Mayor Keisha Bottoms in Atlanta, like, we want to believe like she has our best interest, and then you find out like she has corona, and then you get news saying that, oh, she held a press conference knowing that she might have had corona. So it's like, once you do start believing somebody and like trusting them, you got news trying to tell you, no, don't do it. So what I mean, it's like you don't know what to or who to believe, and it's just it's confusing and it's tiring.
It is very confusing. It's very tiring. You want to believe people, and you want to believe people who you believe have your best interest at heart, and then they go and do something like this. Exactly. So then you say, well, maybe they don't have my best interest at heart. Who the hell knows anymore?
There you go.
And
so, like you said, it's like you got to kind of just go off the day. It's like maybe today I do believe them, tomorrow I might not. Just go off your instincts.
Which leads to tons of conspiracy theories, leads to absolute confusion, a lot of opinions, and everybody doing their own thing, which is why America is America today. All right, we have so much more to discuss. We got to get to Hump Day because we got to have a little fun. Can we have a little fun? Can we get some carols out?
It's Hump Day.
I missed those carols. There they are.
It's Hump Day.
All right, so as you guys know, and as the squad knows, every Wednesday is Hump Day. We get a little randy. Oh my God, that carol! I think that carol is a little extra randy there today. Was that a little extra randy?
It's the middle of the week. Let's do it.
Yes, that camel hasn't seen any action all week. All right, so as everybody knows, I don't even know what's in the Hump Day news. I've never seen it. I don't know it. It's a surprise to me, as it is to you. The first one is, by the way, today is what a coincidence! Today is National Nude Day. Did you know that? It was yesterday. National Nude Day. The week after U.S. Independence Day is Nude Recreation Week. It is Nude Recreation Week this week, and it coincides with National Nude Day. Jilly wanted us to do the entire show nude. I said that would not be appropriate. So in celebration of National Nude Recreation Week, everybody in the control room right now has no clothes on.
Well, someone had to celebrate.
Somebody has to celebrate it right now, you know. When Julian says I'm on the TriCaster with my joystick, I don't know what he's talking about anymore.
Oh,
not during National Nude Week.
I mean, when it's National Donut Day, you bring donuts to work, right?
Exactly. So on National Nude Recreation Week, right?
So why didn't we get this word? I mean, I might have been okay with it.
So by the way,
we know you're okay with it.
By the way, nudist groups around the world celebrate this holiday. They take it very seriously. We're joking around. They take it very seriously. Nudists, by the way, it has nothing to do. It's not a sexual thing, by the way, being a nudist. So they're not perverts where they want to walk around and get off on each other. They're actually naturalists or naturists. Okay, so they want to be one with nature. Now, nudists are individuals who believe the human body is most beautiful in its natural state. I believe that too, by the way. But I don't want to. I do, but I don't want. I believe it is more beautiful to be without clothes than with clothes. But you know what? I don't want to walk around with no clothes on.
Why not?
Why not?
Do you not walk around with no clothes on at home?
Sometimes I go to bed without any clothes on. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. Depends on my mood.
Depends on the weather. Depends on how high the air conditioner is.
And it depends on who's sleeping next to me.
That part.
Right?
That part.
What about you guys? How do you guys go to sleep?
Yo, you're real cheesy, yo. You're real cheesy. Out in the apartment, I don't know what right now.
Well, I didn't hear what Yo-Yo said. What did you say, Yo-Yo? I missed it.
I said I always sleep nude.
You always. It doesn't matter who's next to you.
Yeah.
For whatever.
Especially now that I got my new place by myself, I'm always naked.
Really?
Not gonna lie.
You have anybody ever sleep over?
Huh?
You have any sleepovers ever? Anyone stayed
yes, I
over?
have christened the new apartment already.
You have christened the new apartment.
You blessed
Yes.
it.
You have blessed it.
It's an anointing.
Yes.
Let me ask you this last question. Have you blessed all the rooms or just the bedroom?
Yes, I have.
You
all
blessed our Mazel Tov! Congratulations! All right. So, by the way, in a lot of places right now, you still can't get a facial. You know that, right? Because it depends on where you are in the United States or where you are in the world right now. Different governments have shut down spas and nail salons, and a lot of women and even men want to go and get their facials done, right? Well, there's some good news for the both of you. In New York City, you can't get a facial right now, but you can get a butt facial. Yes, just in case just in case you're just dying for a facial, you can get your facial done on your butt. That is completely legal in New York, according to the New York Post. Yeah, according to Safi Pavit's skincare studio in Chinatown, they are open for business. There they are, and they are doing butt facials. The irony is you can get dental appointments, Botox injections, acupuncture on your face, but de Blasio and Cuomo say no facials unless it's on your butt. Would you spend?
Is it still a facial if it's on your butt?
It's a butt facial. They're calling it butt or butt-tacial. A bushel. I don't know what they're calling it. But let me tell you.
Not happening today.
Let me tell you how much it costs. It's $159 for the exfoliation on your butt. It includes a scrub and an enzyme peel, and it's finished off with a moisturizing mask. Is that something you would spend $159 on, Yo-Yo?
No.
What about you, Vanessa?
No, I'm good.
You're
but
good.
In the comments, everyone's very happy with nude Dr. Love over here.
Oh, are they all sorry that they didn't get to enjoy the christening of Yo-Yo's apartment?
Good job, Yo-Yo. Lord have There's a lot of yo-yos here, man. The squad.
Meanwhile, if you have a small business and you want some free advertising, you can go to Pornhub right now. Pornhub is supporting small business with an offer of $300,000 worth of free ads. We always seem to have, it's very, very funny on our Hump Day News. We always seem to either have a Pornhub news offering or some sort of sex doll news offering. But this week it's Pornhub. They're offering $300,000 worth of free ads. Now, while nearly all of the advertising currently comes from other sex businesses, Pornhub hopes that they're calling it the Big Package. The Big Package contest will attract other entrepreneurs eager to reach the site's $130 million 130 million daily visitors to Pornhub. 130 million people go to Pornhub every day, and they're giving free ads.
Dang.
Maybe Smart and Bernstein should take advantage of this.
Right.
What would we do? I would need, if I'm going to do the ad with Pornhub, Yo-Yo, I would need to borrow your big mic. Okay, we would need the. It's the only way they'll take me for the free ad. Okay, somehow I need that big mic as part of it.
I got you.
Would you go to a lawyer? Let me ask you a question. Would you go to a lawyer who you saw on Pornhub? Can you imagine you go to Pornhub and you're like, "Well, I saw this lawyer on Pornhub. That looks like a good guy."
Listen,
as a brand strategist, I'm going to suggest we don't do that. As a brand strategist and a brandy queen, I'm going to suggest we don't do that.
Listen, people who watch
Here
porn
goes Yo-Yo.
If they spending money on Pornhub, they gonna spend. That means they got money. That means they got enough money to spend on a lawyer.
But would you go to a lawyer who you discovered on Pornhub? You never. Let's say I take your big mic, and I get that free advertising on Pornhub with Yo-Yo and his big mic in the picture, I say, "Hey, call me for an immigration consultation. I got this big mic." Would you be like, would you ever call that lawyer?
You never know.
I don't think so.
You never know.
Maybe I'll let you. Maybe that's not a good idea for me to take the free advertising on Pornhub.
It seems like Yo-Yo's gonna get his service wherever it pops up first. Okay.
I thought Yo-Yo was going to say, I only use businesses that I find on Pornhub. If it's not on Pornhub, I don't spend my money.
If it's a business I need, I'm gonna call him.
Right.
Meanwhile, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, I don't know if this goes with you too. I mean, I don't want to. Maybe neither of you. I have no idea. It doesn't go with me. I know better than this. Okay? I hope the two of you know better than this. Okay? But now doctors are very worried that during this quarantine process, when people were not able to get to the store, that they were using toothpaste as lubricant. Yes, Dr. Shree Datta, a consultant in obstetrics and gynecology, is warning people about the dangers of using toothpaste in the wrong holes. Data revealed how the product can cause infections and even chemical burns. Now...
Yeah.
No shit.
No, that's right, Yo-Yo. I think Yo-Yo's got it down. No shit. I mean, that's as stupid as taking bleach. That's as stupid as taking bleach to get rid of coronavirus, right?
What?
Yes.
I'm telling you, I think the pandemic just got people bored, and they're just gonna try new shit.
Yeah, because
try new things.
Spearmint lubricants. So you guys are into spearmint.
Spearmint would hurt more, I would think, right? Because it's gonna burn. Yeah. In one Reddit post, a man claims he got chemical burns after putting toothpaste on his penis. And it was not a pretty sight.
Dumb.
By the way, that is not a picture of me we're looking at right now. No, all right? That is just a random picture. But that man apparently put toothpaste on his penis.
What?
And I bet you he'll try and sue the toothpaste company.
I guess so. I don't know. Meanwhile, in honor of National Nude Week, a topless sunbather in the United Kingdom rescued a family from a rip current at a nudist beach. Listen, if I'm going under, I would want this lady completely naked to be saving me. I think I'd be yelling, I need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
She's a hero.
She's a hero. She's a hero. And then she would drag me to the beach, and she goes, okay, I'm done. I'm like, no, you're not done. I need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation now.
If you're able to say, I need mouth-to-mouth,
some heroes have... I'm sorry, what'd you say, Yo-Yo?
I said, if you're actually able to say I need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, I don't think you actually need it.
Exactly. And it goes to show not all heroes wear capes. Now, apparently, Jessica Layden, the story goes that Jessica Layden was sunbathing nude at a tidal beach a few weeks ago when she saw two young women struggling to swim near the rocks. Another member of the family ran in to help them and started struggling too. So then Layden said, I swam towards them and thought, oh shit! As I realized how strong the rip current was, I was struggling myself. They were panicking, which wasn't ideal. Fortunately, I just put on my bikini bottoms as it began to happen, so she actually saved them only topless. It's a classic, of course. I was going to be topless when something like this happens. Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.